And we're live.
All right.
Hello, everybody. And of
Hello,
course,
hello.
welcome once again, Jonatan, our favorite trader from Sweden. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. A little bit of a headache, but it's all right. I think I just need it's a little bit more coffee, and I'm ready to make some money. Ready to
likewise. I promised I'll only drink one cappuccino during this live stream, but it's already half empty. So
yeah. That's
not the best
yeah.
of ideas for this type
I'm
of
on
weather and
the
drinking coffee. Should have made an iced latte or something.
yeah. Well, it's not too warm here. I think we had like the years like the definitely the okay, someone from Spain. Let us know what is the what's the weather like in Spain? I think it's pretty hot out there.
Must be super hot in Spain.
Yeah, we had a really
with like
really
30,
hot.
Yeah.
I had a really hot day yesterday here in Sweden. I was what do you call it? Like the when you trim the hedges or whatever. Yeah, I think that's
like gardening.
Yeah, exactly. So took me all day.
I bet it did. Yeah, that's always good. I only have a terrace to attend to. I think if I would have like a real proper garden, it would die. I mean, I had this experience before; it really died. I have what is called a brown thumb. So whenever I touch it, it's guaranteed to die. That's probably also what happened to my hair because I touched my head too often.
Oh wow, brown thumb. I'm gonna remember that. Okay,
Anyway,
so we're looking at PopCat again. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at all kinds of stuff at the moment. We had, of course, a bit of a crazy volatility the last days in PopCat.
Yeah.
So if I like go here, for example, now to the let's go to the 4-hour chart. I mean, it was just what's that? Cannot load here more. Okay, whatever. It came like all the way up from what was that like from the lower 20s here, 21, and then jumped over 60 cents within just a couple of days. So really some crazy volatility. I did some decent trades there last week. Actually, I wanted to do like a kind of like a day of scalping, which turned out to be a half day then, and made a couple of bit of money on Forex with euro dollar with the Fivers account that finally I'm getting around to using more frequently now, and also traded some PopCat US dollar here on Weex. So what do we have now on our account here? Well, 10,069 US dollars already, and hopefully by the end of the stream a little bit more. Yeah, guys, if you are watching this for the first time, you know Jonatan and I, we are always looking to find some quick entries here into cryptocurrencies. Can be meme coins, which of course have a great volatility, can be of course also Bitcoin. If you want to join us here in trading, not saying that you need to copy everything we do here, of course you have to do your own due diligence. For that, you'll find a link in the description of this video for an account with this exchange we are using here, Weex. And we're using this one because they not only provided us with a nice account here with 10K on it, but also because they always have those great offers. For example, here in PopCat US dollar, at the moment, 0 fees, meaning you don't pay any taker and you don't pay any maker fees. That's for you. We do pay those fees. I mean, they need to earn a little bit from our trading as well. But if you want to get into, trading those altcoins and trying to harvest a bit of the crazy volatility we are seeing, especially in those meme coins, it's nice if you can already do that without paying any fees. Jonatan, anything you're watching right now?
Well, I'm thinking. So I'm looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. And first thing I want to do before I get into any altcoins is just getting an overall feeling for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And right now, Bitcoin is not really telling me a lot. However, Ethereum looks like it wants to move higher, at least in the next few hours.
All right.
Because I do feel like we've hit that support. We got a nice 1 hour pin bar right here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. So we got that pin bar right here. We are testing like low time frame local resistance. So that if I would if I would have to take a trade on Ethereum, I would probably, you know, wait maybe for a reclaim of this level up to that level, do this as a local range. So I think if we take this over to Popcat, because if Ethereum is bullish, then something like
Yeah.
Popcat should, and we're seeing the same,
Yeah.
same
See
structure
the
here on
same picture there,
Popcat.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're probably going to move higher, but it's, you know, it's quite difficult to really get a sense of direction here. It's very very non-directional here.
Yeah, it's consolidating today a little bit. I also didn't really find entries today. Was a little bit afraid also because of the crazy spikes we've seen to the upside, and then also coming down from over 60 cents again to the lower 50s. I mean, that is really crazy volatility, and of course, you can be stopped out very fast there. So what's your view on Bitcoin right now? Because I mean, that's kind of the most asked question that I personally get at the moment. And so, is everything over now? Should I sell? Is the bull market still coming? And for me, we have a lot of those vibes we had after the halving of 2020 as well, all over again, because you know it's not doing anything. It's not going to 100K yet. And I just, if I may quickly maybe share my screen, I actually just did a video also on this this week, where I said basically, well, we are at the bull market support bands, the weekly again, and in a trending market for Bitcoin, this is true for an uptrend. This is for a bull market. This is true for a bear market. It always has been a good idea to buy in a bull market when touching those bull market support bands, and this is exactly where we are at the moment. So I don't see for the long run that is, of course, a reason why it shouldn't be wise to buy. But maybe you see things different at the moment.
No, I mean, it depends on different factors. Are we talking about investing or trading? And I think when we talk,
obviously now investing, like very long term,
Yeah.
you know, trading, of course, can be something else. Yeah.
and I think that's what we should be talking about when we talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bitcoin should always be talked about in a sense of investing, because it's probably one of the most revolutionary financial assets in the last decade. So I think we should be looking at Bitcoin from an you know, investment point of view. If we're talking about trading, we're just going to be looking at Bitcoin as everything else. When we talk about trading, it doesn't matter what we're trading. You know, it could be trading Bitcoin, could be trading oil, could be trading Pepe coin. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're trading. It's just, you know. But with Bitcoin, if we look at the higher time frames here, I mean, I got the MBRVC score on here. I have this right here saying the sell zone, and that's between 5 and 6, and that's where I want to be selling. And we also talk about, you know, I'm getting these questions like, when is the bull market starting? Is this the bull, like, when are we going to get the bull market? Well, we are in a bull market. We've started the bull market a long time ago, and I would say that we're inside maybe, you know, it feels like the late stage of bull market. And I think that's why a lot of people ask those questions. They feel like, when are we going to get the next bull market? But I don't think necessarily this is the end of the bull market, or the bull market has ended by any means. Looking at the weekly, we have a range here, and it's interesting that we have a range at all-time highs. Basically, when I say all-time highs, I'm just talking about trading above the last major highs. So we are kind of consolidating above resistance is what I'm looking at. So we have reclaimed previous all-time highs as support. We are not trying to get above resistance. We've already done that. We have already reclaimed this very important level, and now we're kind of consolidating. So I feel like, even with a trade like this, where you have a massive stop loss of 35%, you could probably get, you know, around 3 times your investment on Bitcoin, if we're going to get this continuation of this this move. And again, invalidation is quite far down, and you have to calculate like how much are you going to be investing here, because I think that's the most important thing. A lot of people think that if I just buy Bitcoin, I'm gonna get rich, or if I just buy Bitcoin, I'm gonna make money. But that you have to calculate it in a way that how much can I actually make with what I'm risking. And if you're gonna become rich on a trade like this, you already have to be rich, because you have to have a lot of money to invest. If you have no money, you're not going to be able to get rich on a trade like this unless you use like stupid amounts of leverage and very tight stop loss. And I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize. They want to get into the crypto market, they want to get rich, and the only way to get rich quick in trading is to have extremely high leverage with a tight stop loss and get very, very lucky. Like I get very lucky, and like 99% of people, like 99.99% of people will get stopped out on a trade like this. Like almost everyone will get stopped out, because you'll see a move like this, like it's a small move like that, and it's over for everyone that tried to get rich of this move. So I think it's for this move here, I think we have to be realistic and say, from an investment point of view, you're not gonna make 20 times the investment on Bitcoin in this cycle. However, I mean, I remember we talked about this a long time ago, where we were in this area right here, and we talked about how Bitcoin entered the green MVRVC score. And we talked about how if you have an average entry of around 20K, could have your, let's say you've got your average entry here, you filled in fully, and you had your stop loss below these lows with the same target. I mean, now we're actually talking about 20R. So that's 20 times the investment for the same profit target, but but a better entry. So a lot of people that are asking these questions, like when is the bull market starting, or when is the continuation of the bull market, you're asking the wrong questions. Instead, you should ask, why did I not enter here? Why did I not enter here, and how can I make sure to either manage my risk at current levels, or how can I make sure that I get in on the best time, next time? Okay, so because I think we have to be realistic, we're not going to be able to make a huge amount of money on what we have left in this move. I don't think that's possible. Otherwise, there is a possibility though that there is. If we can look at if this is our invalidation level. Now imagine that price actually goes down here and then starts to form a bullish structure. Now you can actually get in, around that area, have the same stop loss and the same TP, and now you're making 6 to 7 times your investment, and that's a lot of money.
I mean, we have to put like a lot of money, I think, in a bit in a realistic setting. Even if you, let's say, buy now, and I saw you painted like a profit target of around about 150,000 there. We are still talking about more than doubling your money from this level. And that's the thing in crypto. Everybody's always looking for those 10x, 100x things, when in reality, when you're running a hedge fund or you're an investment manager, if you have an opportunity where you say like, hey, this can easily double within the next year, this is a golden opportunity for anybody who's doing this on a professional level. Those big guys, they are not looking for those 10x gains. They're not gambling, they are looking for, I need to risk 30K in order to win 60K or 90K. That's a beautiful R. I have a 2R or 3R. So I'm going to take the trade. And if I may just quickly go over
just one thing. If you have $1 million, okay, if you have $1 million and you make and you make 20, let's make the calculations here. So let's say I have 1 million and you make 20% a year. 20% is really, really good. Okay, so that's like that. If the Wall Street guys make 20% a year, they're really happy, because if they have a $1 million, they make 20%. Well, they make 200,000 that year. Now that is dollar terms, but let me tell you this: if an average person in Sweden gets 200,000 USD in a year, that is a very, very, very good amount of money.
Yeah, same in Germany.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it's easy to get, depending on the currency conversation, sometimes it's easy to get lost in the idea of like, oh, 200,000 USD, maybe not a lot of money, but you do the conversion to your local currency and you realize that, wait a minute, if a good salary in Sweden, a normal good salary in Sweden is, 50,000 a year, getting 200,000, that's insane. And that's only a 20% increase on 1 million. So when you have, like the guys on Wall Street or the hedge fund managers, when you have a lot of money, it's not about the amount of money you make. It's only about the percentage of your return. Yeah. It's all about that. And that's what I feel like you need to be in that mindset, regardless of the amount of money you have, because otherwise you're not going to be able to make any money. If you think about, I need to make 200, 300%, well, the risk you have to take for that is just too high.
That's the thing. Yeah, like 19 out of 20 times you're not going to make that. You're going to lose it and probably end up losing more than the one time where you made your 200 or 300%. And the good thing is nowadays you have so many great tools out there. I mean, the Fivers, the prop trading company that you are cooperating with, where you are heading the what is it called, YouTube department, whatever, educational department. They're a good example of that. No? You can buy a prop trading account, and if you pass the evaluation, they'll give you real money to trade with. So this is something that was not possible 25 years ago when I started this. This was just not possible. You either worked yourself up in a hedge fund or a bank, or you were born rich or got your hands whatever means on money so you could start trading. But like building up a track record with spending almost no money on it, that is unheard of. And this is the way you have to go, because if you can present a good track record to somebody with money, they will give you money. Like if
I also recommend, and I also recommend people, open up an account, small account with, you don't need, an insane amount of money, but open up an account and then just trade that as well as you can, be focused, and you can actually build up a track record on an account with, for example, you can have forex.com or Oanda or something like that, right? And if you can show, now let's say you have $1,000 in there. Now, I'm not really sure if $1,000, if you're going to be able to have position sizes that are okay with the risk and with commissions and that sort of stuff. I think $1,000 would be a good amount at a minimum, right? And then you can start trade that. And if you can show that you made 10 or 15% in 6 months, that's good enough to actually reach out to maybe, investors, or like that is a track record, because people don't care if you made 15% on $1,000. All they care about, can you replicate this 15% on $1 million? Can you trade the same way on $1 million? Because honestly, a lot of people, well, almost everyone out there are not making money. Okay, that's the thing. Absolutely. If you're making money, you're in the top 5% in this whole industry. If you're making 1% in 3 months, you're better than 95% of everyone out there. So it's important to remember that.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe really quickly, like my take here on Bitcoin. Also, like I'm always. Here's the one I wanted, yeah, because this is like one. Sorry, wrong one. So here we go. This is one of my go-to charts. Like whenever I feel a bit lost, like I don't know, like how are things going to continue? Is this the end of something? Is something new beginning in Bitcoin? I always love to look at this chart with this logarithmic regression on Bitcoin, and I specifically love to see like what happened actually after the last 2 halvings. And you could see here in 2016, for example, it took 300 days after the halving to break out of those green channel here. Now, the breakout out of this green channel is kind of symbolizes, this is really when the bull market frenzy starts, like when things really heat up and things massively go to the upside then suddenly. In 2020, it took 220 days until the frenzy really started to the upside. And if history repeats itself, and I don't see why it shouldn't be repeating itself, we are talking about, in the case of 220 days, early November of 2024. In case of 300 days, February of 2025, when we break out of this green channel. And the breakout out of this green channel is going to be if we break above 100K, by the way. So we still have like 39K to go until things really, really start. So I'm expecting like the sideways move we have at the moment, like a little bit up, maybe up to 70 again, then down to 60 again, to continue until mid-October, end October, beginning of November, the earliest. And then things will suddenly probably move to the upside again. And then suddenly you will have those calls by your uncle, by your auntie, your mama, your papa, if they should buy Bitcoin. And then you have about 6 to 12 months left to really harvest this and see that you get out close to the top. And a good metric to get out close at the top is what Jonatan just showed you, for example, this MVRV Z-score, I think it's called, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Also available now. This is pretty new on TradingView if you're using that, as Jonatan just showed. So this is a great tool, and that's the nice thing about Bitcoin. Things are pretty simple. I want to quickly move here to the lower time frame because there might be a nice setup forming right now in PopCat. And okay, it's not high enough. So a bit of a boring market here, honestly speaking, on the 1 minute chart here in PopCat today. So what I'm waiting for is actually something like we saw earlier today. I didn't take this trade then because I was not in my office. So where I see, like, first of all, my RSI hooks indicator is at an extreme level. In this case, it was here at 80. We have those greed zone candles forming above the chart. And this is usually where I would short them in the hopes that the market returns to the 200 minutes moving average, which is the thick blue line. This case would have been a very nice trade. I sadly didn't trade it. So all of these here, this one and these ones, I didn't take, just although they would have worked out as well. But for me, like, the price was not far away enough from the 200 minutes moving average here. We were down here at like 50, 0.53, moving average at 0.55. It's not a lot, you know. I mean, you can trade this because of the zero fees they're currently on the Weex exchange, but still, I rather wait, especially in an asset that has been so crazy volatile in the last days, really for those extremes. And that would be somewhere here in the RSI hooks indicator, the 80s region, or if you are looking for the long trades, that would be somewhere here the 20th region, in combination with those fear or greed bars, and a good amount of way to go back to the moving average, which also is like sideways at the moment. There's not much movement. I saw earlier somebody asking also about Litecoin, correct?
Litecoin, yeah, we had Litecoin and CRV. He wanted to, our friend from Spain.
Yeah. So for Litecoin, I just put this chart quickly on because I wanted to compare. Does it like really move very different from what Ethereum is doing? And you can see they're pretty much moving the same. So I would more concentrate here actually on analyzing what Ethereum is doing. And you heard Jonatan in the beginning, there could be a possible bullish.
Wait a minute. I just want to say, if we look at PopCat, you wanted to short that, right? It looks like a really good opportunity
it's
here.
coming down here right now, but for me, because of the volatility, I really want to wait here for the very good trade entries. And for that, we would have needed the RSI hooks indicator to be at 80 or higher, which probably would have been the case if we went all the way up to 57. In hindsight, of course, you could have shorted this right now, but we also don't know, is it going to rebound here already on the green or red moving average, so the 21 or 50 minutes moving average. And it's like with meme coins, one thing that I learned really in the last weeks is really, I mean, that's true for everything in trading, probably really wait for the good signals, you know, don't just trade them for the clickety click action.
Yeah, I think I'm actually looking at Ethereum, and it's kind of it's actually starting to show some promise here. It's reclaiming that level that I talked about here. So I'm actually
what
thinking,
would you do? Sorry, would you do limit order there now, or just wait first?
I would do a limit order. Stops would be down here, and I would actually be looking for only a 0.53 R move. So looking at this, you see I'm asking for a very small move, you know, but I'm risking quite a lot. So what I'm doing here is basically giving the market a lot of time and a lot of room to be in drawdown. It can move around here for quite a long time, but it only needs just a small move to the upside. So I have two options here. Either wait for the 15-minute candle to close. It's going to close in about 2.5 minutes. And then, or I can look at the 1 hour candle. Now, waiting for the 1 hour candle to close, and I feel like there's probably better entry on that level. So either I'll wait for the 1 hour candle to close, right, and then I'll enter on the retest of that level. Okay, that would be safer. It's always safer to wait for a higher time frame candle to close before taking a trade. But the 15-minute, it's very clean. It's a clean breakout. It's a strong candle. It creates a vacuum, if you will, or a gap, where you can see that Ethereum has moved quite condensed within this range. And then you have a few big candles that leaves room. So here, for example, you have this candle right here, leaves somewhat of a gap here, and it gets filled or gets retested right here. And I'm looking for a move like this, but on not this type of move. I'm looking for a pullback earlier. So what I can do is, wait for the 50-minute candle, and when that 50-minute candle is closed, I go into the lower time frames. Now this is on Bitstamp, so I should go to probably can do. Well, let's use the Binance USDT. What's the
Perpetual?
probably perpetual. This one is probably better.
Bybit also has good liquidity. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at. Something like this.
I mean, the 50-minute candle is going to close in a minute. So
yeah. Because you look at this and you could say also this is a range, right? And if we draw the range like this, we'll see that we're now, getting above the middle of that range. Let's see if we can draw some levels here. So actually, by adding these levels, we'll see that we're actually kind of testing the range EQ here, trying to get above. Yeah, it's the more I look at it, the worse the trade looks like, actually. So I think
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm actually kind of agreeing there with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the potential in this one, but I would like to see actually a bit higher prices and then the pullback to the middle line.
Yeah. So I think, and I'm also looking like every trade that I find on Ethereum and Bitcoin, I'm also taking them on the fivers, because but I can't be doing that on the lower time frames because this spread fluctuates quite a lot.
But if you are looking for a trade in Ethereum on the lower time frame, this setup is not bad here right now at the moment. Well, I would like here the RSI to be a little bit higher, but we have those greed candles forming there already. We are quite a way away now from our 200 minutes moving average, so there could be a potential short entry here very soon, in my opinion. But if you want to take a trade like this, you have to be a little bit prepared to scale into it. So I wouldn't throw all my money into this short immediately. I would like maybe take 1/3 and be prepared that you see a rebound here, either on the 21-minute moving average or on the 50-minute moving average, so the green and the red line, and then it continues higher first. So it's a contrarian trade. You could also argue like, I want to wait the pullback to the green or red line and then enter long. Then you would trade with a trend in this case, which speaks a little bit, of course, in the original analysis that you were doing about Ethereum here. Nothing I would like to enter, honestly speaking. I don't feel so comfortable trading Ethereum anyway. But let's see. Later I'll probably say, I should have done this trade. My God, why didn't I do it?
Give me a second. I'm just gonna.
Sure. So, Steve, you earlier said something CRV. Let me have a quick look at that one for you. So, perp. Here we go. Poof. Not a lot of liquidity in this one. Let's go to the hourly. Is that the one, Steve, from Spain, that you were asking about earlier? CRV? I want to look at the daily first. Okay, this is like not a nice chart, of course. This is like the typical chart on a daily that you sadly see from a lot of altcoins out there, you know, where you have those hype phases and then basically pretty much the coin dies. You can also see here it didn't at all participate really in the bull market we saw since 2023. I don't know a lot about this coin, so excuse me if I don't know the background there, but from all what I see, just looking at the chart here, it looks a bit like a dying pick, so to say. And I feel with you because I used to have a coin like this, also called Electronium, which I in 2017 was like super hyped to buy, and I threw like I think 20K at it, and then I slowly it went to 100K then for me, but I didn't sell, of course, because why would I? It could be $1 million, you know. So
Yeah.
and when I slowly saw it crumbling away, and I think when it reached like 5K for me, I converted it to Bitcoin. Back then we were at 11,000 Bitcoin, so that one luckily paid off. Again, if I were you, I wouldn't like put all of my hopes into a coin like this, honestly speaking. As I said, I don't know anything about the project. It's the first time I really look at this coin, but be careful. That looks like a dying project to me. I could be wrong. Do you know anything about CRV?
No, I don't know anything about the fundamentals of any altcoins, if I'm gonna be honest. But if we look at CRV I mean CRV is it's at all-time lows.
Yeah, that's the thing, no?
It's dying, definitely. I mean, this is just of course, in a market like this, if an altcoin is not performing, then you don't want to be in that one.
That's the thing. I mean, that's like something you never would do with stocks normally. If you ask like a value investor or somebody running a mutual fund, like investing in stocks, they would always say they would never buy underperformers. Except, of course, there's like this super great story connected. You know, they have like a product rolling out and nobody knows about it, but I can see it's going to be the hit and it's going to be the turnaround.
And nobody knows about it, then you're probably if you get the information that nobody else has, you probably have millions of funding in teams of people finding that information, going out to airports, sitting there 24 hours looking at if the CEO is flying to another country, things like that. They're when it comes to that, people are really doing like investigation to understand it. In the altcoin market, you have to come into the altcoin market with the expectation that every project is a scam.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
really,
the reality of crypto.
Interesting. I'm looking here right now at Litecoin also, and it doesn't really move much, yeah. It's like
Litecoin is
because
what
I
happened with
remember
Litecoin?
like during the last bull market, this was like one of the coins also that was totally hyped. Like it's
Yeah.
going to catch up, because I think it's like the same protocol as Bitcoin, if I remember correctly. It was like initiated like a Bitcoin clone, but nothing has much happened. I always have a feeling a lot of people still sitting on Litecoin backs, like just waiting to finally move back to like $200 or maybe $300 to get rid of that bag. So also when I see a chart like this, I have to ask myself, isn't there a better alternative to something like this? In the case of Litecoin, yes, the better alternative is Bitcoin. In the case of most other altcoins, I'm talking long term now, of course, not day trading, not scalping. Is there a better alternative? Yes, usually it's Ethereum, or maybe if you like nowadays Solana as a better alternative. And both of those are then also not a better alternative to Bitcoin, in my opinion. But I understand, of course, that people want to diversify there a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys, you can see we are talking about like a bit longer term things at the moment. Because it's just there's not much happening trading wise on the lower time frame, in my opinion. As I just said on Popcat here, I'm not really seeing a lot other meme coins. I just checked. I need a decent volatility, a decent liquidity also on the 1 minute chart. So if you open the chart and you see kind of like strange candles moving, already there's not much liquidity. So I wouldn't touch those coins as well. But this is why I like for intraday trading Popcat so much. But still, you gotta be disciplined. You really have to wait here for the good entries. It's better to get like when you're trading on 1 minute chart, at least 1 or 2 entries per day that are really high quality entries, even if they don't turn out to be profitable trades, but trades where you say like, wow, every time I see something like this, this is a very good signal for me. Then I'm going to enter it. Then, just entering the market for the sake of doing the trade, for the sake of, being busy with clicking on buy and sell. Don't do that so much. Really wait for the good entries here. And if you guys want, you can always join my Telegram channel as well. I talk from now and then a lot about entries like this, why I pick entries at a certain point or why I didn't pick entries. I also especially talk about the trades that didn't work out. It's very rare, I think, with the exception of you, Jonatan, to find somebody talking about this trade. I did this trade and it didn't turn out, because these are actually the trades you learn from. Yeah. Hello from Goa, India. Oh, yeah, we are all over the place here again this morning. Spain we have India. Welcome, good to see you. Jay is probably your name. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You're looking at Ethereum again, I'm seeing. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, now yeah. So I'm looking at Ethereum here, and I like this. It was not it could still be a fake out on the hourly, but it was not a fake out at least if this 50-minute candle is closing like this, not a fake out on the 50-minute. So I actually quite like this. It does look like Ethereum is going to test higher levels within this range. I think that level right there as a TP is actually quite interesting. So I'm thinking about front running that a little bit and now tightening the stop loss a little bit, because we already had that. So we're looking at a half on our trade here. So I'm going to be waiting for that.
I'm going to enter that order also parallel to you here.
Nice. So I think I'm not sure about. I had to look at the spreads here on the fivers. Right now the spread is around 150 ticks, which should be
for Ethereum. Oh, that's a lot.
Not really, because
on Weex we have 0.01 US dollar spread in the perpetual contract at the moment.
Yeah, but there's such a huge difference between regular.
But guys, it's of course because the fivers are concentrating on trading forex mostly, so they have the best spreads there. Very often zero and euro dollar. I'm seeing there.
But it's 150 ticks is is I think $1.5 $1.5, which is basically this amount, which is it's something. It definitely is something, which is why I don't really recommend trading. You know, if you're trading on a prop firm or something with Bitcoin, Ethereum, I do recommend looking at more of swing trades. Where the difference isn't really makes
but
any difference.
we can of course do that trade here on Weex and use the nice tight spreads there. So you want to limit buy or you want to market buy?
Well, right now I need to wait for the 50-minute candle to close because this can still close below the level. I mean,
so
you got
we're
3
going to wait
minutes.
another 4 minutes then. If it doesn't close below the dotted line in the middle, probably, no?
Exactly. So we can also look at the lower time frames, depending on what the lower time frames are doing. We can look at the 5 minute, and it does look interesting, but we still have a gap here. I mean, it still looks rather likely that we might get something like that. And on 1 minute, on the 1 minute it looks better because now it looks like we kind of reclaimed this level. So let's see. It depends on what the 15-minute candle is doing here. I mean, if the 50-minute candle is just closing like this, I think I would just want to market enter.
Good. Then I'm going to get ready. How much shall I buy? If we buy with 10K on the account.
10K. What's the risk here? I think we can go in with almost everything. It's a 1% stop loss. So maybe half. So maybe 5. How much is it? 10K?
10K and 69. Yeah. So 5K.
5K should be good.
5K,
Yeah.
all right. So I just entered all the details already, and then we can wait another 2 minutes and can quickly show that to you. Is it actually possible to show 2 screens shares at the same time? No, it's not. No,
I don't think so.
No, sadly not. That would have been good when we could have parallel done this. Maybe
that would have been great.
A suggestion for Restream, which is the software here. So you guys can see here actually that I went here to the Ethereum US dollar perpetual contract here on Futures Pro. Up here, we have, of course, here a maker fee of 0.02, taker fee of 0.06, which is totally fine. When to market order open, I have a leverage here selected of 20. I could theoretically do that all the way up here to 200. Doesn't really matter in this case because we are not trading this trade with leverage, because you can see we have 10,000K on the account here, and the order amount is just going to be 5K. In this case, if we hit stop loss, I think you said 1% is the stop loss away, then we would lose $50. And to the upside, was it half an hour or?
Yeah, just half an hour.
So it's $25. Now you might ask yourself, of course, you guys are always talking about having a positive risk reward ratio of 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, which is true if you are swing trading, if you are longer term trading, absolutely. But on those lower time frames, as strange as it might sound, it's very often that with a lower R, you end up earning a little bit more money because you have so much noise in there, and you're trying to capitalize, of course, also on very, very small movements here. But this is also the reason why I always say, if you are just starting to trade, maybe don't start with a 1 minute, with a 5 minute, with a 50-minute time frame. Focus more on the longer time frame, because it's, I'm not going to say easier there, but you don't have as much noise in the market. Yep.
I did enter here on the 50-minute candle close. Let's see what happens. Okay, it starts moving lower right away. So
we are in as well. We entered here at 3453.41.
Yeah.
So, and take profit is at, what is that? 3473.5 or?
Take profit is 3473.
73, and our stop is 3423. What is it?
Yeah.
All right.
34. Yeah.
I rounded that one up. Good. So I'm going to completely show you how that is done here as well. Going to enter a take profit. So when our take profit gets triggered, when the price is at or above 3,473, and this is for the whole amount, of course, confirmed. Yes, and we are going to enter a stop loss, which is when the price trades at or below 3,423, also for the whole amount, of course, here. Good. So theoretically, you can see here the take profit stop loss as well. We could now turn off our computer and walk away. Of course, the exchange server is going to monitor that trade right now. Yeah, it's moving a little bit lower, but let's see. I mean, doesn't.
Yeah, we have a lot of room for error here.
Yeah,
we can. I'm kind of expecting a move down here, and if it's what we want to see, we want to move higher. If this can happen within this 15-minute candle, that would be great, because that would also mean that, like, if this current 15-minute candle can close above the white dotted line, that means this is not a fake out on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
And like Jay says here from India, it says 1 hour the 1 hour isn't that natural. 15-minute is strange, but I mean you're absolutely right. But we're taking a bet here basically, and there's also a higher time frame structure here that makes sense. You can see here that we've retested that level. We have a wick coming down to that level, and our TP is at these highs. So it's basically it's a break and retest also on the 4 hour, where we're expecting this break and retest on the 4 hour to just give us a little bit more room to the upside. We can look at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin, looks like it kind of, is in this range. We've recently tested the range lows. We're just looking for a very, very small move to the upside. So we're not asking for a lot here. We're just asking for the market to give us just a very, very small move up, not even to the local range highs, just to just a very, very small move to the upside. And this is the beauty of having a negative risk to reward. You're basically, it's like, I always say, like, it's like asking your friend for a very, very big favor. So if you're asking your friend for a very big favor, the chance that that friend will say, I'm not sure about that, right? But then you say, like, well, this little favor, well, that might help you. So what you're doing here, you're asking the market to move just a little bit, but you're also giving the market a long time to do so and a lot of room for error. It's like asking the markets, like, can you give me just a little bit more room if I give you the opportunity to move around to the downside as much as you want, So, we'll see.
Actually, but this is, let me quickly change here to mine again. So if I look at Ethereum at the 1 minute chart, if you were already watching earlier, you heard me mention here that I'm like to look at structures like this, where we have this structure saying, okay, it's probably the market is going to form the local top here. RSI also here, RSI hooks indicator trading above 70. I said I rather would see it at or above 80. But you see it was coming back here. And this is what you very often also see after a topic structure like this forms, the price keeps coming back, that it kind of is then caught here in the middle of the 21-minute EMA and 50 EMA. And this is always what I like to call a squeeze pattern, because it will either squeeze out to the north side, which in our case would be, of course, fabulous, or it will squeeze down and return here first to the 200 days moving average, which right now is also trading here at 3,444. From there, it could probably bounce upwards then. So these two possibilities are the most likely. There are endless other possibilities, of course, too. But from my experience, right now with structure, you can also see this with the RSI. It's trading around 50 now. It's kind of set to neutral again. Yeah, you have a zone of consolidation now, exactly between the two moving average, and then you'll see a squeeze pattern either to the upside or downside. And I wouldn't be surprised if that actually is quite a quick move also, where we either see a quick green candle or a quick red candle. I want to quickly see, actually, do we have like still something coming in? Yeah, in like 30 minutes, we have the GDP growth rate in America coming in. It's of course something important. So timing wise, if we are
Wait,
longer in the
it's
trade, there could be more ideal times, of course, because this is, of course, high impact news and could potentially cause a little bit of volatility. And
did you say GDP for US? Isn't that for CAD?
no, it's for the US. Oh,
Okay.
we have Thursday today. Oh, we have Friday already. My God.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Oh, Jesus. Why do I think it's Thursday? So weird. As if
man.
I'm missing a day this week because it has been such a tumultuous week
We
for
have
me.
PC core PC though, so
Okay,
at
that
least
is
that's something.
that is a biggie as well, and
Yeah.
personal income. Yeah, I already was wondering, like, how come this down there is red?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Friday. Hi, I said. I think in the beginning I also said it's Friday.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we'll see now where that one is going. Yeah. Other than that, it's like, let's have a look here. Bitcoin, more on the lower one. It's probably looking a lot like Ethereum at the moment. Let's switch over to Bitcoin also. Bitcoin perpetual. Let's take this one. Yeah, it's the same picture, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this is like where Ethereum and Bitcoin are moving hand in hand at the moment. Dominance still quite high for Bitcoin, although it's also going a little bit sideways. Not on the 1 minute chart. There's one I want to look on a daily chart. Yeah, it's rising again. Yeah. So Bitcoin dominance, meaning, of course, like over all cryptocurrencies in existing, how much is, so to say, invested in Bitcoin? At the moment, 54%. We were already almost up here at 70%. That was in February of 2021. Usually you'll see this coming up when there's uncertainty on the crypto markets, which is the case at the moment. This going up, on the other hand, then means if you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, that one goes down because you have to pay less Bitcoin per Ethereum. Then meaning Bitcoin appreciates over Ethereum. Also quite a nice trade, by the way, I like to do sometimes. Let's go back to the 1 minute here. And
well, it does look like on Bitcoin, it does look like we're testing support here. Might move a little bit lower, but I do get the feeling that we're about to test a support area, and that's exactly the same thing I'm thinking with Ethereum. We tested support. We're about to like reclaim levels of support. I definitely think there's we at least for the next few hours, I do feel like there's going to be a move towards the upside. However, looking at our Ethereum setup, I think this is a great example of where you. I mean, the 1 hour candle is going to close in about 6 minutes, and it does look like a fake out at this point. So I think this could be a good example to people watching here that if you see a clear level on the 1 hour as well, maybe wait for that 1 hour candle to close. Again, we have 5 minutes. There is the chance that the 1 hour candle might close above that range EQ level. Not very likely though, but I'm still watching this move right here.
So what would you do then normally? Like if you enter a trade like this now, and when you see like, okay, it kind of gets invalidated a bit, would you like close the trade then, or still stick to your take profit and your stop loss?
Well, if I had my stop loss here, then I would close the trade. Because chances are that stop loss is going to get hit. But now I have it all the way down here, so we can still move around. I mean, we have multiple levels of support below. I mean,
we do absolutely.
We do have a level here as well. So we do have multiple levels of support. And looking at the higher time frames, I do feel like even though the local overall trend is you can look at the daily, looks rather bearish. I do think like looking at the 4 hour and that break and retest to see another push to the upside. I think looks like something that might happen. And you're still seeing that the 15-minute candle here on the 15 minute, we see that price is still in a healthy uptrend here on the local structure. And as soon as we just break above this, I think we're gonna hit that level. And what I do is if price would break out here, then it's time to kind of move stops here, and that's where I would just leave it.
Okay, I would say we still wait like for the candle close at 2 p.m. And of course, if we don't get out of this trade, because normally we want to stream like an hour, of course, I'm going to update the trade later on the Telegram group. You'll find a link to the Telegram group, Telegram channel in the description of this video, of course. Feel free to join them. Of course, everything free information there, so there's nothing I'm trying to sell you there or something. And if you want to also start trading, or you're looking for a good exchange to trade cryptocurrencies with low fees and a lot of trading pairs also that have zero fees, go check out the Weex exchange. That's the one we are using here for trading cryptocurrencies, non-KYC exchange, by the way, as well. So they don't really care where you are in the world, I assume. And yeah, I personally use that one a lot for trading right now. Great guys there. And I highly recommend you checking it out as well, especially if our Ethereum trade lends into positive numbers.
Yeah, it's actually looking interesting now. I mean, the 1 hour is it's like it really wants to close above that level. If it can just take above, if it can just close above like that level right there, then I think we'll see move higher. Now with the wick that we have on the 1 hour, it's looking not perfect, but still as we have a lot of room to the downside and just a small move to the upside, I think there's definitely opportunities here. But if we break above this high right here, that's where I would start limiting the loss of this trade, and I would then move my stop loss here if we break out. So this is already yeah.
I can see you have kind of like modified your approach to the lower timeframes a little bit, correct? Like because I remember you were not super much a friend of moving your stop loss, like to limit the loss. Is there like anything you've changed? Or?
Well, I'm looking at, well, not really. I think there's a lot of things changing when you're trading with a negative risk to reward. You definitely have more room. Okay, now it's not looking good.
This is exactly, and it's fighting with a 50 as well, so it's,
yeah,
the prices are always attracted to round numbers.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, but that is not a good close. If it closes like this, I'm actually I might be interested in closing it, but I still see what I think is happening here is not only are we testing that resistance, but we still have that level. So I feel like I don't want to close a trade where you have such a good support below, where you might just get that. And also, of course, when trading Ethereum and altcoins, you want to look at Bitcoin. So what do we think Bitcoin might be doing here on the 1 hour? Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is doing, I definitely think Bitcoin could be moving up here. So if Bitcoin moves up here, I think that's also the move that we're looking for on Ethereum. So right here, that's the idea that we have on Ethereum. And the 15-minute, Bitcoin is pretty much already doing what we are hoping that Ethereum will be doing. So Bitcoin is having that move.
Front running a bit. It's like something that you see very often also when you're trading Forex on euro dollar and pound sterling dollar, that one kind of initiates the move of the other one as well.
So we did have a fake out on the hourly. Not too bad, but as like, yeah, we'll see. I will create an alert on this one. That I'll add an alert here as well. No, but I think it's moving quite nicely now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll monitor that trade, of course. And then later on the Telegram channel, I'm going to share the screenshot of
Nice.
whatever happened to it. If we won something, if we lost something with that trade. And yeah, let's see. Maybe it all comes down to the economic data being released in half an hour. All right, good. I think that brings it to an end for today. An hour went by with us. Not much trading action today. There are, of course, as you saw, really things are a little bit consolidating in many cryptocurrencies on shares and everything at the moment. So we have to be patient to pick our trades really out there, wait really for the good signals. I can only highlight that always. Thanks for being with me again here today, Jonatan.
Well, thanks for having me.
And make sure to check out Jonatan's YouTube channel and Twitter as well. You'll find links to those in the description. A lot of really very valuable information, especially if you're a beginner trader, to learn from. And he does it in a very, very good way and in an honest way, which for me personally is always the most important. So there is nothing with fake trades, nothing with pretending, to be a millionaire and stuff like this, all the bad sides of social media influencing that we see more than enough, especially if we talk about cryptocurrencies. We're going to see each other again next week at 1 p.m. Friday. And I think next Tuesday I'm going to be joining also one of your live streams on the Fiverr.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
You'll be joining the Fiverrs as well.
Good. I'm going to leave a link there as well to that channel. And maybe if you're interested in some Forex trading as well, go there and check it out. Really a lot of fun always with 3-4 people on a very entertaining live stream. Until then, take care, everybody, and happy investing. Goodbye.